Hey friends! A couple of weeks ago, I got back from my trip to Portugal, España et France. And part of it, I went with my family. Very part of it. My mom, her husband Ralph, and my sister Taylor went to Spain together. And I was really excited for this because the last time that we had a family get-together was
a while.
But also, this was perfect, and I was super excited because I've been learning Spanish for a couple years now, like 3, not that anyone's counting. All around Spain, I was going to have to speak Spanish because, like, I know Spanish, so why not? I was also excited to see my brother from another mother, JC. When I was in high school, my family hosted a bunch of exchange students, but our first was JC from Portugal. It's been quite a few years, less than 20, more than 10. I was just excited to see my mom, Taylor, me, and JC all in the same room, again, reunited, and it feels so good. Aside from us wanting to see JC, my mom also wanted to go to Spain to visit the Museo de Prado and to see flamenco dancers in Granada, so we planned it. For months before takeoff, we met weekly or tried to meet weekly to discuss what we wanted to do, where we were going to stay, how we were going to get there, and be organized a little bit. I like to have a plan. It makes me feel more comfortable and in control, or as much as I can be, but I'm usually traveling by myself and not with a group of people, so this is going to be a little bit more complicated, and I'm really glad that we did plan ahead of time just to get an idea of what could happen. Also, traveling with other people makes me really nervous and a bit anxious because I'm worrying about others' well-being and if they're having a good time. So, yay. Both JC and my sister arrived a day earlier than I did, so they all had fun, and I really only saw JC that first night before he left on his bus ride back to Portugal.
Hello, finally here.
Even with jet lag, or maybe because of jet lag, like it helped me a little bit, I was ready to get up and explore the city. So Taylor and I went to grab some coffee before coming back, and the struggle began. First things first, we needed to rent a car to get from Madrid to Granada. And so I took it upon myself to look up car rental places and give them a call. In retrospect, I probably could have made this reservation online. But remember how I've been learning Spanish for 3 years? Well, you know what helps? Body language, context, and also not a muffled voice over the phone. So I called them up and struggled for like 20 minutes while this very patient lady talked to me in Spanish, and I tried to talk to her in Spanish to get all of the logistics figured out. We loaded up a taxi and went to where I thought the car was reserved. But it turns out they have multiple locations, and we went to the wrong one. It was one day in, and I was putting all this pressure on myself already. And my mom, Ralph, and Taylor were wonderful. They said, like, look, you're not responsible for the group's happiness. You're not responsible for the group's anything. Just hearing that was really reassuring. Once we got the car, we were in for a road trip. My mom and Ralph's time was limited in Spain, and so maybe a road trip wasn't the best option if we needed to be in Granada to do what we wanted to do there. We definitely made the most of it by stopping at a local restaurant to have lunch together, and it was beautiful, and what was important was for us to be together and spend time together, not to be at a location for a certain thing that we wanted to do. Like, that was secondary. Taylor found us an Airbnb in central Granada, and because of that, traffic was very flowy. This made unloading the car a little bit more complicated because we didn't want to block traffic. So I had Ralph go around the block, and each time he got close to the Airbnb, I would grab a couple more things and he would go around the block again. But finally, we did get everything out of the car. We got a parking space, and we rested before we went out to dinner. Dinner was literally in a cave. So when we were reading the menus, Spanish, no problem. But even knowing as much Spanish as I do, and even with the English translation of the menu, we still had no idea what we were ordering.
Is this a sandwich?
Despite that, we had great wine, we had a great conversation, we were happy to be together and enjoy a flamenco dance after, which was incredible. The next morning, my mom and Ralph left back to Madrid. And yeah, that was not a lot of time at all. It was sad that we didn't get to spend that much time together. I am glad that they got to enjoy Madrid and that she got to see her flamenco dancers and JC. There were also a ton of tiny little things that I couldn't have planned and I didn't have any control over, and they just kept happening all along the way. So I had already learned just over the first couple of days that not everything was going to work according to plan. That being said, this is the only part of the trip that I planned. I put all of my focus into the time that my mom and Ralph and Taylor and I were going to be there. I didn't worry about the rest of the time. Taylor and I were going to be in Europe for another couple of weeks, and it was so much time that it would have been completely overwhelming to do any planning. Usually I'm gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks I can plan, no problem. But a month? No. Not for me. Taylor and I spent another day in Granada, which I'll talk about next time, and the rest of our trip, we just embody chaos. I would encourage you to go with a loved one or your family to Granada or just travel anywhere because it is an experience. If you have any questions about what I talked about in this video, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye! Cheers.
Well, I can record that. Is it okay? Do you want your head in it?
Tomato
I hope he uses the bloopers.
with okra